everyone, it's Silvia. Welcome back to my channel. So today I did an experiment and I just want to find out whether it was successful or not live with you guys. So basically as a premise, I help my husband a lot on his business. I take care of all the admin stuff and I don't charge him because I'm nice. No, because I should actually, but anyway. So he said, look, I'm just gonna gift you an Amazon gift voucher, gift card or something like that. And I said, well, you know what? I will actually rather you buy me something. And so I thought to myself, why don't you buy me a tarot or an oracle deck? And he said, yeah, of course, which one? I'm like, no, you choose it. You go on Amazon if that's the easiest way for you. And I was happy for that to be a mass market one. And I said, you just go through all of the decks and you choose one that you think I might like. And then I thought to myself, it's going to be easy as well because on Amazon, on the listings, when you've bought something already, it does tell you purchased on and it tells you the date. And then I thought to myself, but what if I rehome the deck? So I said, look, just mark down 2 or 3 or even 4 ideas for a deck and then go through my entire collection. I told him where the mass market decks are. And if I don't have it and it doesn't look like I already bought it from Amazon, then you're probably safe to buy it. So just, do it and then we'll see if it's successful or not. And so it did. And because we have next day delivery, this has already come home. It's already been delivered. So it's here. I've only cut off this part of the bag. I have not taken any peek inside. So I'm very excited actually about this. And so let's just find out together what my husband thinks that I might like in a deck. This is going to be really fun. Okay, so we're here. As I said, I didn't even peek. I am excited. It's this big. So I'm thinking, I think it's too thick to be a tuck box and it feels sturdier. So it might be a 2-part box. And it's not huge. So let's... You know what, I'm excited, but I'm actually scared at the same time because I'm thinking to myself, what if I hate it? Would I actually have the courage to tell him that I hate it? I don't think I would. But maybe. Well, let's just go for it. Okay, I'm gonna open up. Oh, the anime food tarot. I get it, of course you would think that I love this. Because he knows I love Japan, he knows I love anime, he knows I love food, especially Japanese food. So he found the deck. See, that's very clever. Wow. Okay, that's very clever. So, you combine anime and Japanese food and Japanese culture with a tarot deck. He knows that I love yokai. Maybe there's a yokai in there somewhere. He knows how much I love yokai and Japanese culture in general. So when he saw this, you know what? Because I know him, I think he went through like that. He probably typed something like yokai tarot and he saw that I bought every single yokai tarot that has ever been produced. And so he thought, okay, no, that's not going to work. Then he probably Googled something else. And then he saw this one and he thought, that makes me happy. Honestly, that makes me happy. I haven't really seen it. I really like the cover on the box. And this is all Japanese food and now I'm going to be hungry. Because I love Japanese food. So in June, July, we spent 5 weeks in Japan and we just not once did we go to anything other than a Japanese restaurant, whether it's a fast food chain or even fast food chains are awesome in Japan. There's no two ways around that. In any case, let's have a look because I'm actually kind of curious. It was not my radar. But yeah, I mean, anime food tarot, of course. So it says here, a deck and guidebook inspired by popular Japanese animation. That could be really, really cool. It could be, let me put it this way. It could be either really cool, like a 5 stars out of 5, or it could be a total flop that will really hurt my feelings because I love the theme. Let's have a look. By the way, this is by RP Studio. I do have a couple of decks by RP Studio. I generally like their products. But I'm talking about, you know, the cardstock, I'm talking about the box. So this is a wraparound magnetic closure kind of box. It's really magnetic because it doesn't want to budge. So now I had to force my hand on the flap. And so we can see here, this is the guidebook. I think it slides out. Yes, it does. And let's see. So it's divided by color. And the color will point to the suit, so whether it's majors or minors. So let me just quickly look if they have made some renaming: pentacles, cups, swords, and wands. No, there's no renaming, which is always cool. And I just don't want to see the cards, so I'm kind of worried. Let me just quickly look. Okay, there's no thumbprint. There's no thumbprint, which is actually better because I don't want to spoil my first impressions. And there's a fair bit, so it does tell you, like I'm seeing here, you know, just one example. 7 of Pentacles is the yakitori, and it does give you the food, what food that is, but then again, it might be on the card as well. I don't know. In any case, it gives you the upright and the reverse meanings of the card. Oh, and then it talks about the actual food. That's so awesome. Representing perseverance and long-term sustainable results, yakitori is the food of the hour for any diners looking for a tasty yet relatively healthy meal. Pictured in anime like Wakakozake, yakitori promises a delightful salty charred skewer of meat or vegetable that makes the perfect complement to an ice-cold glass of beer. And now I feel like a beer, even though it's morning. I think I'm going to love this. I think I'm going to love this because I love it when you look at the card and it gives you the reason why they've chosen that particular thing, especially when it's a themed deck. So it could be an animal, but if they just tell you this is a turtle and we chose it for the Wheel of Fortune, I don't know, but then they don't tell you why, it's not as satisfying. But this one looks like not only does it tell you why they chosen that particular food for that particular card, it also tells you where you can find it in the anime. And so I can just literally picture myself Googling these anime, the ones that I don't know, and maybe try and stream them somewhere. It's gonna be so much fun. Wow, that's an amazing present. You know what? I'm even more worried that the cards are going to disappoint me. But I'm an air sign, so you know, don't mind me. Okay, so the cards, I feel like, yep, they also slide out. Beautiful backs, by the way, already. So okay, yep, nothing more to say about that. And that's a really odd kind of plastic wrapping, but in any case, I come prepared. But I got a cutter here, and let me just go through this. Okay, let's just zoom in because obviously I want to show you the cards. So they feel a bit cardboardy, a bit papery, but that's okay. It is a mass market deck. Honestly, I wasn't exactly expecting a luxurious kind of product. And to tell you the truth, when it's this kind of cardstock, I'm actually happy because I know that I can shuffle it, I can use it for divination. I mean, I don't know if I can use this actual deck for divination. I have to see the cards, I have to work with it, I have to feel the vibes, etc. But what I mean is the cardstock. This is the durable cardstock that even if you use it a number of times, I think it will still hold. So this is my first impression. Really good bounce, quite sturdy. It does come with lamination, I can tell. So, you know, it's a-okay. So far, it's a-okay. It does come with these kind of obnoxious, really big borders. which means that obviously the real estate dedicated to the actual images is reduced, which is not necessarily my favorite thing. However, I do understand that they needed, especially at the bottom here, if you can see, they needed enough room to write not just the title of the card, but also what food that was depicted on the card. And I do prefer to know straight away what food that is, rather than having to go back to the guidebook. So if this was, let's say, a workaround to have more room to write, that's okay with me. What I'm thinking is I can probably trim it. So I'm thinking maybe trim it down to this kind of border, because that's already a frame, and leaving this much room at the bottom here. So trim it like that, even though, and also a little bit at the top here, and then round in the corners. I don't know, because on the other hand, it's also a present, it's a gift from my husband, so probably I don't know that I want to touch it. But in any case, lately, I've come around to appreciating borders sometimes, and I really do see that from an artistic point of view lately, the decks that have come out with borders, they have their own reason to be there. So let's see, maybe I will be happy about this one as well. So the Fool with the pickle plum onigiri, of course, absolutely. And the Magician with the rustic breakfast, that looks very westernized, to be honest. So though of course you can still find a Western style breakfast in Japan. The heart bento for the high priestess, yeah, that's amazing. Really beautiful, look at that. With the heart bento. I just love taking the Shinkansen in Japan because it is expensive. But they have a special side at the train station where they sell bento boxes, and some of them have a string, and you pull the string and it just warms up what's inside. And we just, I can't tell you how happy it makes me whenever we went to a Shinkansen, we bought the bento box, one each, and then a beer. And and we just had lunch, and it's just an amazing experience. It's really nice. So the Empress is the herring and pumpkin pie. I never had that before. Does that sound like something that can be paired up, herring and pumpkin? Maybe. The Emperor is the endless feast, of course. Yeah, I get it. And the Hierophant is the anpan. My favorite is the melon pan. The one with melon. The Valentine's chocolate for the lovers. So it's there's a bit of a mix, and at least so far. Also, it does show you Western food, but I'm expecting it to be mainly Japanese food. Rabbit ragu for the chariot. That would be really interesting. And the meat on bone for the strength card. The Hermit with the jerky. And the Wheel of Fortune with mystery croquettes. Mystery croquettes, okay. But it's great though for the Wheel of Fortune mystery croquette, because you never know what you're gonna get. And that is a little bit like the Wheel of Fortune, because you never know what's gonna happen. Some things go up, some things go down. And the Katsudon for the Justice. See, I'll have to spend a long time because some of these ones are probably easier to interpret than others. So I'll have to spend some time with the guidebook. But that actually is something that makes me happy because it's a challenge for me, and I like it when it's a challenge. So now, really cool, this one is the Hangman with the beef stew. But it looks almost like it's a robot preparing it, which is really fun because we have been to a completely, the automated kind of restaurant in Tokyo where there's absolutely no humans, and everything is prepared by a machine and offered by a machine, and you just, you have the iPad to order and stuff like that, which is, it was an experience. It wasn't particularly good, but it's an experience. Death transforming furikake gohan. Wow. Yeah, of course, because there is this process of fermentation, by the way. And so I get it. Fermentation, it's a way to being reborn. So yeah, I get it. Temperance with the chocolate curry bun, that's my husband's favorite. And I get it because the temperance is finding a balance, and this is a balance of flavor. So the chocolate and the curry, great. The devil with the strawberry shortcake, yeah, that checks. And the cursed food. Oh my goodness, look at that. Is that a spider on top? And an octopus? And I don't know what else. Eggs and fish and shrimps and I don't know. It would be interesting to find what this is. The tower with the cursed food. Because honestly, let me just check, quite quickly. I don't want to check all of the cards because otherwise we're going to be here forever. But this is the tower. There you go. So chaos strikes just when you think you've done something amazing. The world is turned upside down. Nia, one of the main characters in Gurren Lagann, has cooked for the crew and it looks absolutely rancid. You try to be polite and your worst fear comes true with the interest. Not only is this food bad, but you feel sure it's going to wreak havoc on your digestive system for the worst trip to the bathroom in your life. Oh my goodness, it's even funny. No matter how painful the process, you must submit to the destruction to get it out of your system. Guys. Honestly, I did not expect this. It does have a sense of humor that it's also very Japanese, I would say. Everything toilet related is very Japanese. When you go around, some of the souvenirs are small poop, plastic ones, obviously. They squeaky toys and stuff like that. There's also, you can buy like a shirt or a t-shirt with small poops. So, that's so funny. Okay. And if you do try to resist, well, the longer you'll be punished for your attempts to move against nature. Let it happen. Better out than in, So I had no idea, but if the whole guidebook is like this, I'm going to love it so much. It is so funny. So how should I explain this? Italians and Spanish, the ones that I know, Italians and Spanish, we have a culture that we don't have a lot of problems, feeling like we can make jokes about corporal digestion, bodily functions and stuff like that. It is not something that you will blurt out at the really high-end fancy dinner. But if you're with a friend and, you had a misadventure eating rotting food and stuff like that, and then you were sick, you share these kind of details. And I know that it's not all of the cultures are like that, and I get it. And Australians are also a bit more private when it comes to these things. And I remember when I used to live in the UK, it was almost taboo to talk about that. But I don't know, maybe for us it's because we love food so much, and sometimes we're very honest and say that it didn't really go well. So it's not a scandal for me to talk about this, and I actually really appreciate it. And the Japanese culture is pretty much like that as well. So I'm actually loving this. The star with the compeito. So these are the small sugary, they're very sugary. You can buy them. So they're candies. They're tiny, actually. They're like this big, and it's just 100% sugar and syrup. Cannelle with the moon. Beautiful. Love these as well. Souffle pancakes with the sun. Absolutely. And judgment with potato chips, of course, because, they're the ones that are said to be fattening, which really, in some cases, it doesn't make sense, because then you'll have people eating everything else that is even more unhealthy than chips. But I get it. I get the potato chips for judgment. Ramen or ramen for the World card. It's just is my favorite. Absolutely. One of my favorite places to go in Japan is Ippudo, because they have 3 types of ramen, and I always like alternate between the 3. And they give you so many pickles, like it's free pickles as much as you want. So you basically, you can eat, I don't know, tons of pickles, and they really work. Like pickle mustard, pickled ginger. I love pickled ginger. So, sorry, it's gonna be a video in which I'm gonna talk about food. Soba for the Ace of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles is McDaniels. This looks like a McDonald's that they couldn't really write McDonald's, you know what I mean? And so maybe it points to the choice for copyright reason, and maybe points to the choice of eating healthy, between eating healthy or eating McDonald's. Even though, even in Japan, McDonald's, they do have a lot of healthy choices. So maybe because there's a lot of choice, that feels like a 2 of Pentacles situation. I don't know, I'll have to check. Yakiniku, which is by far my favorite, even though I do prefer the Korean barbecue to the Japanese one, but it's awesome. The bar snacks, of course, 100%. Something else that we do share in Italy. In Italy, you don't just order it. Okay, you order a drink, and you don't just get the drink. They always offer you snacks, like most of the time peanuts, but sometimes even more. When you order an aperitivo in Milano, for example, then you literally don't need to have dinner, because they would just bring you all this stuff for free. Maybe the aperitivo, the drink, is a little bit more expensive than elsewhere, but it does come with all this food, so it's really, really delicious. Udon. I don't know why this would be the 5 of Pentacles. Maybe because it's made with low cost ingredients, I'm thinking, you know, the 5 of Pentacles. I don't know. The hot pot with the 6 of Pentacles, there's a lot of sharing in the hot pot. You can't just have one for yourself. You can, but that's a lot. Yakitori, absolutely. Skewers, tea, and dessert set, the matcha. They could have put a mochi here, but maybe there's a mochi somewhere else. A5 Wagyu steak dinner with the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, you need all the money of the 9 of Pentacles to order the level 5 Wagyu. Otoro sushi spread for the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, I get it, because the true sushi place that shows you the tuna will give you different levels of, let's say, it's not marbling, because marbling is for meat, but for tuna would be something akin to marbling, and they have different prices. So the 10 of Pentacles, that shows you all of the best ones you can have with your Toro sushi spread. I get it. And the server for the page. So I like that we've got people for the core cards. I like that. So there's a server for the page, the cafe butler, and then the geisha for the queen, and the itamae for the king. Okay, so then we're moving on to the Sudo cups with the bamboo shoots cookies for the Ace of Cups, and the Swiss roll cake. These ones are so amazing. Thank goodness we have them in Sydney. These roll cakes, my favorite one is the tiger, but also I really like the pandan, and also the taro. The taro is probably my second favorite. The Pocky, it's not Paki, it's actually Pocky, but for copyright reasons, they probably cannot write Pocky. These ones, you can find them everywhere in Asia. Whenever you want a snack, they're bikis, they're biscuits. If they feel like cigarettes, so sometimes I pretend that I'm eating a cigarette. It's actually funny. The green tea for the 4 of Cups. Why, I wonder, why the green tea for the 4 of Cups? I just have to have a look at the guidebook, because if this is as funny as it was for the Tower. So the 4 of Cups, okay, the green tea. Green tea is a ubiquitous drink in anime, and it is beloved by many for its complex taste. Like the characters in Tsukiga Kirei, pick up a bottle of green tea the next time you're out and sip it while taking some time to admire the moon and meditate on your next moves. It's time to reevaluate your decisions, so make space for that time in your life. Be forewarned. If you don't take a tea break, this card may warn you of a future or current withdrawal from your personal connections. It's time to realign with those you care about. See, it's still in the ballpark of the meaning of the Four of Cups, but they still make sure that it's still looking into the image that they propose and they've chosen for this. So it's still in the realm of, taking a tea break with the green tea, and it talks about the anime that is inspired the card, and at the same time, it shows why it's a good choice for the Four of Cups. I think it's really well done. And the pickle seaweed, I know that I have yet to find a non-Asian person apart from myself and my husband, because, that loves pickle seaweed. I love it as a cracker, as a snack. They're so good. I like them with sesame seeds. They're fantastic. Ramune, the Six of Cups. This is, I get it for the Six of Cups because it does remind you of, if I were Japanese, which I'm not, unfortunately, but if I were, this would definitely remind me of my childhood. I still drink it though, even though I'm not a child. And then, there you go, the melon pan. The Seven of Cups, with the choice and everything, I don't know. I don't know whether it's because if you eat too much, this is really high caloric in content and also very high in sugar. So obviously you need to discern, you need to know and be aware that you cannot just keep on eating it, which I probably would. The dried squid, love it, especially when it's spicy. With the Eight of Cups, it takes a lot of work. Can I just say this? It takes a lot of work. You're basically ingesting calories, but you're also spending calories while eating it, because it actually is a lot of work. The fried chicken, the famichiki. If you've been to Japan, if you're going to Japan, go to Family Mart and ask for a famichiki, Family Mart chicken. And it comes with this, like this, and you can choose between spicy and non-spicy. It is the bomb. It's so good. The Pizza Man. So it's a bun, basically. 10 of Cups. With everything inside, yeah. And, okay, so we've got the Page of Cups with the school kid customer. Then, hot customer, you have a crush on. Oh my God. Oh my God, look at this. This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. The restocker, and the konbini part-timer. So konbini is a Japanese word for convenience store, combined, so konbini. And there's also a couple of novels, or maybe just one, about, convenience stores, or konbini workers, people that work there. We had so much fun. We were going to konbini at least 3 times a day. Because it is slightly more expensive than a supermarket, but you've got everything. And they have, most of them, not all of them, have a room on the side where you can sit down and eat what you buy or drink. And some of them, not all of them again, have when you buy a coffee, so you can you have the coffee machine, you make it for yourself, and then they have like hazelnut syrup and vanilla syrup and stuff like that, and it's just really awesome. Sukiyaki with the Ace of Swords, and Tonjiro for the 2, Ochizuke for the 3 of Swords. See, this one, I had it. I liked it. My husband didn't. I think it's basically green tea with a very bitter kind of taste that puts in the moisture on rice, and then you can put toppings. It's very traditional. Okay, let me just say this. I think The tea has to be the right taste, otherwise it just doesn't combine the flavors. I like bitter taste, my husband not so much, so maybe that's why. But this was a very, very immersive kind of experience, I'd say. Bottle of milk, of course, and takoyaki, of course. And the gyoza for the Six of Swords, the gyoza, I wonder why. Curry rice for the Seven of Swords. See, I need to read the Seven of Swords, sorry. It's just that for me, because it's my decan of birth, I just need to know what they mean and why the curry rice, personally. So I remember once I was climbing Mount Fuji, but this was back in 2006. I was climbing Mount Fuji by myself because my companion decided that she didn't, not a chance in hell that she would have been climbing. Mount Fuji, I climbed it in one day, but I started from station number 6, I believe. And then you go up. And I remember, not in one day, sorry. So I made it to the last, we call it refuge or hut where you can sleep. And they also give you dinner, and I was like, whatever you have, because I was very late, and they were like, we don't have much left, and whatever you have, you give it to me, because I'm exhausted, I'm really hungry. And so they gave me curry rice, and I don't know, I finished it all in like 3 seconds. The guy was looking at me like that, you were hungry. And so that was one of the best curry rice I've ever had in my life. But then I went back to Coco, which is a chain that makes mostly curry. And honestly, it wasn't as good. Maybe because my husband ordered the really spicy one that like they have 7 different levels of spiciness, and he chose number 7 because he thought that he could do it. And he could, I couldn't. Like I couldn't even smell it because I started crying. But let me just see. Curry rice is usually warm and comforting to eat, like a cozy blanket on a cold winter's day. However, as seen is Mabaru penguin drum. It can also symbolize, or penguin drum. It can also symbolize betrayal when things don't work out like they're supposed to. When the main character, Ringo, drags her curry and feeds it to her crush so she can take advantage of him, she reveals her sinister methods. Her strategy is decidedly dishonest. Instead of using her curry to win her crush's heart, she instead puts it to gain what she wants through nefarious means. Whatever curry symbolizes in your life, make sure you aren't using it in a duplicitous way or aren't falling victim to another's guiles. On the other hand, if this card is you, take care that you aren't sabotaging yourself with imposter syndrome. I like that. Your tactics can work in accomplishing your goal. I like that. I do look at the Seven of Swords sometimes as imposter syndrome, because it is the kind of way in which you look at what you're doing without necessarily feeling that you deserve. When you do something right and you receive praise, you don't even feel like you deserve it. So I like it. I like this interpretation. I did not know about that anime. The ginger pork, love it, for the 8 of Swords. I like the fact that the ginger pork is actually really spicy. So Japanese ginger, you probably know it as red ginger or even pink ginger, is incredible. It can be incredibly spicy. So this one, I love it that they show it with a glass of ice water, because you'll need it in order to placate all the burning. And the Taurus with the 9 of Swords. I wonder why. And the beef and bell peppers for the 10 of Swords. This is incredibly spicy. And little kitchen helper for the Page of Swords. The lunchbox maker, so the bento maker for the Knight. The dinner cook with the daikon radish for the Queen. And the kinoko, so the Oba-san. Oba-san is the grandma. Oto-san is the dad. Oka-san is the mom. And Oba-san is the grandma. The grandma is not just as in my grandmother. It's also a concept. Some cultures call like a woman, an elderly woman, they call it auntie. But in Japan, it's mostly grandma, Oba-san. And it's always someone very nurturing, very kind, but also very knowledgeable because they are supposed to be older and more experienced. Panda rice balls, omorise, sorry, 2 wands. So this is basically, I'm sure you've seen it on TikTok videos, or this is a bed of rice. It's tomato rice, sometimes also with condiments. And then they put the omelette on top, and then with a knife, they just make an incision on the top, and then the omelette opens up and covers all the rice, and that's how you're supposed to eat it. So interesting though. And the cup noodles, I've been to the cup and noodles museum. Amazing experience, really amazing experience. You get to make your own cup and noodle. Then the potato salad, the chocolate cornet for the 5 of wands. Maybe because there's so much sugary flavors that they compete against each other. This is one of the things that I tried, and I honestly don't, it's too sweet for me. So maybe that's something related to that. The tamari sushi for the 6 of wands, it's a winner for sure. The octopus are, this is so funny, the octopus winners for the 7 of wands. They're so funny. See that sense of humor, it's really cool. Tamagoyaki. Tamago is eggs, so this is basically a souffle of eggs. And your friend's mystery bento for the 9 of wands. Sorry, let me just read that. That will be the last one, I promise. It's just, I'm really curious. Your friend's mystery bento. Who knows what the references will be. Your friend comes bounding into the classroom one fateful morning and presents you with a dubious offering. Their handmade mystery bento, just like in Persona 5, the animation. What's inside? You can't reasonably identify any real foods, but it smells fine. It's time to test your faith in your friend. Stay the course. Now is not the time to give in. They are worth more as a friend than their dubious bento. On the other hand, if you're feeling overwhelmed at the moment, just remember that you're almost to the finish line. Let your friend's gift give you that last burst of energy you need to get there. You know what? It's brilliant. I love it. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Or the black coffee, how many of these just in the morning, first stop, conveni, because we didn't have breakfast included in where we were staying. So first thing, just around the corner, conveni. I didn't like black coffee, but I always got the vanilla version of this. Love it. Iced, fantastic. And the forgetful best friend for the page of wands. The protagonist for the knight of wands. The popular girl for the Queen of Wands, of course, because she's the performer. And the class president makes sense for the King of Wands. Oh, I think that this was not just a winner. There was definitely a 5-star. I love it. I think that my husband knew how I would have loved it, even though he didn't know how much I would have loved it, because he knew that I would have loved the association between Japanese anime, tarot, and Japanese food. He already knows how much I love those 3 things. But I don't think that he had the possibility to look at the cards, so he just went on probably on an inspiration, and he thought that I would have liked it. I think that this was beyond expectations for me. I really think that it's an excellent deck. It's also a very well thought product in the sense that when you read the guidebook, and maybe not all of the cards will resonate for me, but what I read so far really have my approval. I think it's really well done. So kudos to who made this? Who's the it doesn't really, why doesn't it say, why don't you tell me who's the author? Really? No one? Okay, let's have a look at the guidebook. Hopefully there will be something on the guidebook. Written by Emily J. Bushman. So Emily, well done. Emily, well done. Okay, yeah, it doesn't really say too much. It's also really designed by Mary Boyer. That's all I can find. Well done, Emily and Mary. Well done, absolutely. I'm not even, you know, the borders are fine. I'm okay with the borders. I didn't really even notice them when I was going through the cards. I think that we have enough in the card about the food that we're looking at in order to identify it, so it's perfectly fine. Well done. I really love this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.